This NIL business that's being circulated in regards to what Ohio State's able to pay, what they have prepared for versus what the competition is willing and capable of paying out. How much, and I don't expect you guys to have the answers because there's so much that has to be unveiled and will never be unveiled except for to tax accountants. So, where do we think we stand on Ohio State's ability to compete? Where does the truth lie for as much as you can possibly grasp at this point?
I think if Buckeye fans want their recruits to start getting paid, just look at what's going on at Texas A&M. And now they've got 20-some players in the portal. But yeah, hey, again, they got a commitment from the number one running back in the 2023 class. That's great. Let's see where he's playing next year. Let's see where he's playing in 2025. Because just to pay a player to come to your school, you also then have to pay a player to keep them at your school. And if Damon Wilson, and there's been rumors about Damon Wilson going to Georgia for like $1.5 million or whatever. If you have to pay somebody $1.5 million to come to your school, that is the surest way to ruin your locker room and ruin your culture. And so and that's been my stance all along with this NIL stuff. And there is so much fear. Everybody pointing at Texas A&M, what they're doing. They're going to ruin the college game by doing what they're doing. The only thing they're ruining is Texas A&M. And so if they want to ruin themselves, go for it. If you want to buy into this, Miami can go and buy a bunch of recruits. The surest way to know that I will never see you again is for you to go to Miami, and you will just drift off into the sunset as a college football player, and your existence there will be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of wondering what would have been if you had gone somewhere else.
Yeah, I think Tony's preaching some common sense here on, you can get bought and paid for and go somewhere, and yet, are you going to play? Are they going to develop you? Are they going to put you in the NFL? Because that's where, 99% of these kids view themselves in 3, 4, 5 years. So I don't know enough about what's really going on with NIL to make any really, really strong comments, other than to say the situation that we are in, we all saw this coming 3 years ago. California passed that law that said that their athletes could take advantage of NIL as of this date, and the NCAA was dragged along, and nobody at the conference level or university president level or conference commissioners, athletic directors they had a blue ribbon committee to figure out that they needed to go from a 4-team playoff to a complete like cut off from the world. They came out of left field with this cockamamie 12-team playoff that nobody had been discussing. They solved that issue quietly and, in the dark of night. That 5 or 6, 10, 12 person blue ribbon panel solved that one, which was a problem that really pales in comparison to this other problem that is, in a sense, revolutionizing and ruining the industry and the sport. And no one ever took it on. I say this again, Mike Krzyzewski, 2 years ago, I was listening to his thing on Sirius. He says, we don't have leadership at a college athletics macro level. We don't have anybody. The NCAA, the figurehead, the guy wearing the suit, whoever he is, he's heading out, he's done. He wasn't any good anyway from what everybody, says about him, but that's really not his job. It's the athletic directors, the conference commissioners, and the presidents that need to put the rules in place to govern NIL, and no one's ever thought to do that. So it is the Wild West, truly. And some schools are taking full advantage of this and buying recruits. And some schools are saying, no, we're going to wait and see what the NCAA comes up with. Can we really buy high school players? We don't know that we can by our understanding of what the legislation is. So they're taking a back seat on it. Is Ohio State's NIL pay for the rank and file player competitive with Illinois or Michigan or Alabama? I don't know. I honestly don't know, because, Gene Smith comes out with this nebulous, we need you all to give and give often to NIL causes. But, Gene also has to talk out of the other side of Gene's mouth and raise millions of dollars to pay coaches' salaries, athletic scholarships, send the lacrosse team to UCLA, all this other, stupid BS, maintain 36 sports that, he's kind of competing with himself, trying to raise money for the football athletes while also raise donations for the, the 36 sports and the 500 and some full-time employees they have. So, it's a mess right now, as our friend Tim May, just 17, 18 more questions from Letterman Rowe, formerly the Dispatch, said to me the other day, hopefully in 3 or 4 years, we'll all come out of this and the industry will be better for it once it all shakes out. But right now it's a Wild West total mess, in my opinion.